in that backfield. He's got some depth that he needs. Now he has to get some other positions filled, because I think he has the backfield, the nucleus of great backfields with the 1-2 punch with Muncy and Galbraith back there. He's got two big backs, can run, who are strong, can catch that football.
A gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Bobby Scott. Scott has John Gilliam. Did he trap it? I believe he did. It hit the field and bounced into his arms. Just a little underthrown that time. John Gilliam is playing for the 3rd time this year in Busch Stadium. He was here in the preseason with Atlanta. He was here with the Chicago Bears, and now he's returned with the New Orleans Saints. A complete cycle, because he was drafted 2nd in 1967 by New Orleans. He still has a lot of potential. He keeps you worried when you're out there.
You know, we were talking about those 3rd down situations. Here's where New Orleans has not done the job today. They're 0 for 4 times in 3rd down situations. They got 3rd and 9 right now. Big play.
3rd and 9 from the 42. Bobby Scott throwing under pressure, complete. This is Jim Thaxton. Thaxton, the tight end, and Scott rifled that ball. He had John Zook breathing down his neck when he released it, and Zook almost tore his jersey completely off of it.
I'll tell you one thing. Scott is setting up in here. We've got both backs going out for control. Zook comes around, and Scott steps right up into the pocket. That's the only way he could have gotten that ball off, and drills it into Thaxton. The big tight end makes a great move here, covers that ball up with both hands. When you're in a crowd, that's one of the things you got to do. A man is going to be taken away.
And the Saints are coming alive here. That was Thaxton's 10th catch of the year. This is Chuck Muncy again, picking his way. Ooh. Hit hard as Charlie Davis hit him around the head at the 37-yard line. Davis and Dawson, the two inside men on that front 4.
I'll tell you, he got hit on that one.
Now you can see Scott's jersey almost coming off of him. That's where Zook got that big hand out and tried to bring him down.
We got another score, an update on a score here. We got the big Giants and the Big Apple up there. They're coming back. They're leading Washington right now 7-6.
Gain of 1 on that last play, 2nd and 9. Scott trying to do a little mending there on his arm. He needs a seamstress. 2nd and 9, quick pitch, Muncy, nothing fancy. They're just running the ball right now, and Muncy's doing a job. He is all the way to the 25-yard line, and that's a 1st down. They are just sweeping one way and coming back the other.
I'll tell you, this is one thing that they didn't think they could do that well, but look at the big man get the ball out here. Again, you've got to watch that halfback leading up to the fullback leading the play. Gets a great block there. And Muncy breaks to the outside, picks up about 10 or 12 yards on it.
Another guy in that play was Don Morrison, number 76. He leveled somebody, pulling from that right tackle spot, and Muncy is hurt.
Oh, Muncy's hurt?
He's had a history of ankle trouble.
Oh, boy. And he's having a great day right now. He's 7 for 65 yards.
And
7 carries.
Touchdown. It's a 1st down. Scott back to throw. Nice protection. Throwing down the field. Wide open.
Touchdown.
And Thaxton has brought the Saints now right back into this game. Thaxton with his first touchdown catch of the year, a 25-yard grab. And the Saints, looking like they might trail by 3 touchdowns, recovered a fumble at the 5 and went 95 yards.
I think Hank's got this team fired up. They've come up here to play some football.
Bobby Scott has really surprised me, the way he's thrown the ball.
I'll tell you, he had a dry spell in that 2nd quarter, the beginning of the 2nd quarter and the end of the 1st quarter, but boy, since then, he has really been drilling the ball. He's got time to throw it. He's 6 for 14 right now and 72 yards.
And Zarro adds a point after. So now it is 21-14. And the Saints, looking like they might be blown right out of this game, trailing 21-0, have now cut it to 21-14 with 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go before the halftime. Tom, I want to remind everybody about the CBS Sports Championship Saturday. Boy, we've got some things coming your way. We have televised finals live from Mission Hills, California. We're going to have 8 of the top women competing. We're going to have Virginia Wade, the Wimbledon champion, Martina Navratilova, Betty Stova. They're going to have outstanding tennis coming your way, to be followed then by the World Middleweight Boxing Championship. Rodrigo Valdez, number 1 ranked, against Benny Briscoe. He is ranked 2nd, 1 against 2, Tom, in that one. And then a place that you're familiar with, Laurel International Racetrack. Televised live, we're going to have that race from Maryland. You haven't lost any money there, have
I
you?
sure haven't, but I'll tell you, that's one great, beautiful race. They really do a great job of that in Maryland. Between that and the Preakness in Maryland, I think that's, that's horse country up there, and we really appreciate it. I enjoy it. I live out in that area, and I just love it.
All right, the CBS Sports coming your way. Outstanding activity. Kickoff now. It's taken by Jerry Latin, and Latin's up to the 20, and Latin has dropped to the 24-yard line. So the Saints have come back in this game. Ken Bordelon flying down the field, a second-year man out of LSU, a former Los Angeles Ram, making the tackle. And the Cardinals, who look like they might be coasting, leading 21-0 with 5 seconds gone in the second quarter, all of a sudden now are only leading by 7 points.
That last drive, which was a great drive by New Orleans, and Scott did a super job. They started back on the 5-yard line. They went 95 yards at 8 plays, and they used up a little over 3.5 minutes of time.
Muncie will try to get the status on him. We don't know if he'll continue or not. He was hurt on that particular drive down the field. From the 23, Jim Hart. Hart, play action. Wanting to throw to Mel Gray. Gray getting open, and then he's covered as Clarence Chapman was there with him all the way.
Jim Hart did a wise thing right there. They had great coverage down the sideline on Mel Gray. He just threw that ball out of bounds.
Tom, interesting on that play. Hart just waited for Gray to turn it in, get it into overdrive, and get open on that far side.
Looked like they had some type of a double zone coverage on him, playing him inside and out on the sideline over there. We have an update on that Oakland game with the Jets right now. Stabler just hit on a 7-yard pass, which makes it now 27 Jets, Oakland 21. So don't count the old Raiders out yet.
So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. 5:10 remaining now in this first half. Jerry Latin and Wayne Morris, the running backs. Look like Bob Pollard firing offside. A give up the middle, and here comes Jerry Latin all the way to the 35 with a flag on the play. It looked like Bob Pollard, the left side defensive end, fired off. Let's see if he was drawn off. Jerry Latin with a fine run to the 35-yard line. A lot of penalties in this first half of play.
There sure are.
Offside, New Orleans. It was Pollard.
I think they might decline that one. Latin likes to get that kind of yards. I think he's got the first down.
New Orleans, offsides, decline, first down.
There he is. You can see it on the replay.
That's right. He came right across. Sometimes last week when we were watching Jim, he caused the Eagles to jump off sides a number of times also. He has a real different type of a cadence, which bobs that head, and those guys are, looking for that key.
When you played quarterback, did you change your cadence?
I was lucky to get the ball, let me tell you.
First down, 10 from the 36. Hart on a delay. Jerry Latin again, and Latin out to the 45, 46, 47-yard line. That is very close to the first down.
Here's a great shot of how Latin's really picking his holes. He comes up. Now watch the block off. He's screening off right there. He comes back to the inside. He just makes some great moves in there. He's picking his holes real well.
Well, Dallas and Philadelphia still 7-6.
I'll tell you, that'd be a great upset. I think I know St. Louis would be happy to see that one.
First down for St. Louis as Latin got it to the 46-yard line. Quick pitch. This is Latin again. Latin out of Northern Illinois going nowhere this time. They converged on him in a hurry. Tommy Myers coming up in a hurry. Joe Campbell. We have an injury report on Chuck Muncie. He sustained an upper thigh injury. We don't know at this moment whether he'll be able to return to today's game. Not that ankle, though, that he's been having problems with.
On that last play, Tommy Myers, number 37, came up and faked that safety blitz. But he stayed up on that line of scrimmage, and when he saw the run, he came across and made the tackle.
Loss of 2 on that last play. 2nd and 12 for the Cardinals. 21-14. St. Louis, but they led 21-0 at the start of the second quarter. Hart back to throw. Complete to J.V. Kane, and the big tight end is to the 45-yard line, a couple of yards short of the first down as Chuck Christ wrestles him down. Kane has 2 touchdown catches this year, and both of them have just been circus catches.
Hart setting up right here. He's got the outlet over here on the sideline, too. Kane sets up right in the middle, right in front of the linebackers, and almost gets that first down. He's 1 yard short of it.
Let's look at that Giants and Redskins game.
The Giants are a surprising ball club, I'll tell you this year.
3rd and 1. We've been told by Bob Rowe, our producer, that the Giants, they tried to steal all their uniforms before the game last night.
And they caught the guys that did it. Huh?
Here's Jim Hart back to throw. Wide open kick. Oh! That is so similar to the play the Childs had earlier.
That's exactly the one.
So both of them are even now. Both of them had their tight ends open down the middle of the field. There's Jim Hart. He won't overthrow very often.
He is Mr. Composure, I'll tell you. Hey, besides that, he's just one super kind of guy. I'll tell you. He's one of the old time. He's one of my buddies.
All right, it's 4th down now, and for the first time in this game, Dwayne Carroll's going to kick. That's Jim Hannafin, the offensive line coach, talking to Jim Hart. Dwayne Carroll last week averaged 34-1. He did some fine kicking in some pressure situations. His first appearance last week for the Cardinals. Snap the ball is Brahaney. Big rush, and Carroll hits it. Monty's going to let it hit at the 10, and the Cardinals are trying to get it, and they will. What an effort. Jeff Severson.
That was super.
Jeff Severson on about the 1-inch line. Let's see where they mark it. Boy, what a job that time. Now, wait a minute. Did he make it in? Maybe he got into the end zone with it. They're bringing it out the 20-yard line.
I'll be darned. I guess they felt he was in that end zone with the ball, and he still had control of it, reaching out.
Well, he was standing in the end zone, touching it back in the field of play. So they brought it out to the 20-yard line. But, boy, was that close. So from the 20 now, the Saints. The crowd not liking that at all. 2.5 minutes to go in this first half. This is Mike Strawn playing for Muncie now, and Strawn doing the same thing that Chuck Muncie did.
I'll tell you, he...
Up to the 28-yard line. Got a question of you, Tom Matty.
Yeah.
Do nice single ladies go out alone at night?
I hope so. I hope so.
Rhoda faces that problem in tonight's episode at 8, 7 Central and Mountain. Then Maria gets involved in the strangest romance since Cupid first drew his bow. And the delightful new comedy, On Our Own.
We're on our own out here today, I'll tell you.
2nd down, 2. Bob Scott. This is Strawn. He's got the first down and then some. He stays in bounds. Let's see where they're going to mark him. Hank Stram over there watching the play very closely.
That back.
And we've got the 2-minute warning. So the Saints trailing 21-14, moving the football. They've got a first down. Hank Stram watching.
Sir. It's about time you're here. Another late night, I presume? Well, let's get started. The first thing we have for your assignment is this micro-cassette tape recorder.
Genius. Did you design this, son?
Well, no, actually. It's a Sony. Next is this radio with 32 worldwide bands can tune in just about any place.
Extraordinary. Who gets the credit for this one?
This is a Sony, too. You'll also need this ultra-compact portable video camera, and we're going to mount this 5-inch color TV in your car, along with this Betamax deck for playback.
Remarkable. Are they,
Yes, they're Sony also.
Excuse me, sir, but did you just walk into a store and buy these?
Well, yeah.
Well, keep up the good work, sir.
If it's a little extraordinary, chances are it's a Sony.
There's your story, 21-14. St. Louis with the lead, but the Saints coming alive as they trail 21-0 at the 14:55 mark of the second quarter. There's that offensive line. Finney, Dobler, Deerdorf, Banks. Also, Bob Young, and further down the bench is Keith Wardman. Well, that's quite a crew, isn't it?
I saw them before the game, and they are big. Let me tell you, they are big.
First down now. We have 1:55 remaining in this first half of play. John Gilliam to the bottom of your screen. Bobby Scott, who's really come on in this second quarter of play. He's going for broke down to John Gilliam. He's running under the ball, but he can't get there. Roger Worley, who can backpedal about as fast as some people can run forwards, got back there along with Mike Sensabaugh. Worley is as good as anybody that plays the game.
I think he is. I sure do. You know, we got an update on the Cleveland score. You know, Buffalo is really having their problems this year, and they're losing right now 20-10 to Cleveland. And that's in the third quarter with 3:05 left.
What did they do? They gave Jim Ringo, I think, his first win ever last week.
Yeah, 3-0
against Atlanta.
Not a very big one either, but they won.
Well, that last play only took 6 seconds. Second down, 10. There's a give to Tony Galbraith. Galbraith breaking tackles, and Galbraith is all the way across the 45 to the 46-7-yard line.
He did a lot of that on his own there, Gary.
The rushing statistics for the Saints becoming very impressive. He made just a fine move on this play.
He hits that hole quick, too, and he breaks tackles right there. He just keeps those legs going, I'll tell you. He's a big, strong back.
So we have a timeout now called with 1:33. The Saints have the ball, third down, and still 1 yard to go. Let's see now. Let's watch Tim Carney, the middle linebacker.
He comes in there and just misses that tackle. He fills that hole super. It's exactly the job that he's supposed to do. He sees that play develop, and he comes in and plugs that hole up.
Bobby Douglas, Archie Manning, by the way, in the street clothes. You can't quite see him, but he's in there. That's Dick Wood, the quarterback coach, in the white jacket. Scott Thaxton, boy, they're having quite a brain session there.
Mr. Wood is an old friend of mine. He played with the Baltimore Colts for a year with me, my rookie year.
Bobby Douglas standing by. There's Archie.
There's Archie. You know, he's a dynamic. He's had his problem with injuries last year, but here's another guy like Jim Hart. He's just a super athlete. He can do it all. He's a scrambler back there, and he's one of the cheerleaders on the sideline today. He's the kind of guy you want to have on your team.
You know, he's a roommate of Bobby Scott, and he is one of Scott's biggest backers. He thinks Scott's a fine quarterback, and he said he'll do the job today. And he has done a nice job.
You know, that 1-2 combination between Muncie and Galbraith, they're really doing a great job. Galbraith's got 6 carries for 29 yards. Muncie's 7 for 65. And that other back just came in there, the big boy.
Mike Strong.
He's 2 for 9 yards, so that's not too bad either. I'll take 4.5 yards per carry for a year.
All you quarterbacks are alike. Third down, 2. Let's make it a long yard to go. It's not quite 2 yards. Scott's going to go for more, though. And he has wide open Childs to the 30, 25, 20. Sensabaugh trying to get him down. He's not going to go down. Childs never did go down. Henry Childs. And now we've got a fight back of the end zone area going on. With 1:22, the Saints now within a point. We have quite a confrontation going on back there. That was after the play was over. Tim Carney is involved in it. But you talk about a determined run, 54 yards by Henry Childs. He and Sensabaugh were hand fighting all the way down the field.
Here's a great camera coverage on him. Breaks to the outside. The ball is perfectly thrown by Scott. Now this is just an individual effort. Sensabaugh's got the angle on him. All he's got to do is knock him out of bounds, and he just keeps dragging. He gets it. That's just a second effort.
That's one of the fine plays of the year.
Oh, boy.
And now the point after attempt, trying to tie it up. And Zarro has done exactly that. And it's now 21-all after that 54-yard pass, as Henry Childs has really put on quite a performance on that particular play. Well, looking ahead now to the CBS Sports Spectacular. I don't know how you are about motorcycle jumping, but it is something. And we've got some coming your way. Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, 3:30 Central and Pacific, we're going to have the international jumpers competing. You heard of Gary Wells, also Rex Blackwell. They're going to attempt 2 jumps, 100 feet and 110 feet. One time 20 cars, the other 22. Then the Women's Junior Gymnastics Invitational. And there's a young gal from Bethesda, Maryland, Stephanie Willem, the current U.S. Junior Elite Champion, going to compete in that. Stars from U.S., Romania, Czechoslovakia. And then we want to bring you to the world's strongest men competition, the wheelbarrow. 750 pounds. They got to move at 30 yards, and that's a day's work. Ready to go now. Zarro kicking off a brand new game. It's 21-all. This is Jerry Latin. They're kicking away from Metcalf. Up to the 25, Chuck Christus got him and dropped him at the 29-yard line. I have never in a long time seen a game reversed like this one is. It's 21-0, and now it's 21-all.
Well, you know, when talking to Hank Stram the other day when we talked to him, the thing was, he says, these boys are sticking together. They're hanging in there. They're the kind of ball club that I like. They've got the attitude that we need to keep the momentum going. They're 1-4. You know, you think your season is over, but these kids are hanging in there, he said, and he expects a lot out of them.
What is happening, though? Childs has been wide open on a couple of occasions, and there was a good example of it. So now 21-all. Still a minute 18. That took very little time on that drive. Jim Hart after putting them on top 21-0, has to go back to work. Got protection. Terry Metcalf, what a catch! What a catch by Metcalf.
Unbelievable.
Tom, we're seeing a great offensive show here today, huh?
I don't know about the defenses, but I'll tell you, watch this little guy coming out of the backfield. Should you call a fan pattern to the sideline? Hart just lays it up a little high. One hand the little guy goes up with.
Oh.
And then he balances that sideline right there, steps out, but boy, out there.
And there's still a minute 10.
There.
And you know the Cardinals are thinking at least field goal.
Let me tell you, they're here to play too. This is going to be a fantastic game.
Boy, if you like offense, this is your cup of tea. From the 49-yard line, first down for the Cardinals. Hart back again. Pressure put on, Derlin Moore, and he got rid of it. What a job by Hart. He got rid of it, and Metcalf almost came up with it.
He must have glue in those fingers.
I tell you, that was a really heady play by Hart because he was spun around and still spotted Metcalf and got rid of the ball.
You know, Hart's 7 for 10 right now. He's having a great day. He's got to keep it going. He's got to keep this offense. He's got to turn that momentum around right now. You know, St. Louis had dominated that first quarter, and New Orleans has come back the second quarter. Really, you know, got it going for them. They got to turn it around.
From the 49 now, second down 10, a minute 4 remaining first half. Hart wasting no time. There's Metcalf. And Terry Metcalf had 3 men, and I believe 2 of them collided. A couple of the Saints getting up very slowly.
Whoa.
Jim Fetterspiel and Chuck Christ. They hit as Metcalf, but we've got a penalty, by the way. That's going to bring that play back.
I'll tell you, I think these two guys hit head on. Here's Metcalf coming out of the backfield. Hart setting up again. The ball's perfectly thrown. You can see these two guys hit each other right here. Metcalf tucks it in. Boom, right in the head. 2 Rams bucking. Woo! And that does hurt. He's down.
Yes, sir. Christ is getting up very slowly. Fetterspiel up and around. But they're going to bring that play back. We have a penalty against St. Louis. So that will stymie the drive momentarily. Here, let's listen to what happened.
Number 72, St. Louis.
72 is Dan Deerdorf, guilty of holding. So that'll bring it back. 10-yard penalty to 39. There's Christ. This guy did not even play football in college. He was a basketball player at Penn State. Remember Cornell Green for Dallas? Same story.
And Preston Pearson was a
right.
basketball player also. Came out here and started doing a good job. We have an update on that Houston-Pittsburgh. Tony Frisch just kicked the 47-yard field goal in the fourth quarter. Time remaining 8:50. The score is Pittsburgh 13, Houston 10. They really had some drag-em-out fights down there, I tell you.
That is some division, that AFC Central. So the penalty moves it back to the 39. There's Metcalf, 3 for 70. He made a catch a while ago that defies description. Second down, 20. We have 56 seconds left, and we have had some football today. You know, the Cardinals a couple of weeks ago against Dallas had a very similar game.
And in that game, they had a lot of penalties. I think they had 11 penalties for 166 yards. That hurt anybody.
From the 39 now, a second and 20 for Hart and company. All right, chased by Pollard and Ernie Jackson. Jackson almost coming up with the interception, but what set that up was Pollard. Jim Hart getting up kind of slowly, but I believe he's all right. Bob Pollard came storming in from that end position, and Bob Pollard at 6'3", about 240 pounds, is quite a football player. That was Deerdorf who was trying to hold him out of there.
And Ernie Jackson's filling in pretty good for this for Cassidy.
Craig Cassidy.
There's another Ohio Stater, by the way.
Jackson, by the way, as you talked about him, just went off, I believe. He is shaken on the play. We'll check that number for sure.
They got Marcellus in, the oldest man on that New Orleans Saints team at 32 years of age. And that isn't too old as far as I'm concerned.
That's right. It was Jackson that went out. As we now have, as you mentioned, Marcellus back there. Also a young man from right here in St. Louis, Normandy High School. Jimmy Stewart has come in, former standout at the University of Tulsa. We have 49 seconds. And the way these two teams are playing, they can do a lot in 49 seconds. Third down, 20. Hart off to Wayne Morris. The 40, and Morris gets out of bounds, stops the clock. But still 45 seconds, but they got a long ways to go at that rate.
Got to come in with your kicking game here. He should have tried to stay in bounds on that play.
So it's 4th down coming up. Dwayne Carroll will come in, and Motti will go back. Cardinals kind of hoping now that mishandled punt here.
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see a big rush by New Orleans right here to try to block a punt on him.
Motti, another player from Penn State. He's a young man that nobody thought would make the ball club. He only caught 11 passes his entire Penn State career.
They weren't too much of a passing team. Like where I went, Ohio State, we didn't throw the ball too much either.
Here is Carroll, big rush. He got it away. Chapman was coming in. Motti calls for the fair catch at the 21-yard line.
I think that was a good decision on that fair catch. They had good coverage on it.
Chapman put pretty good pressure that time on Dwayne Carroll. And at the 21-yard line, 39 seconds left to play in the first half. Well, as you know, the NBA on CBS will begin this Friday. And what a start to the 1977-78 season. The world champion Trailblazers, Bill Walton, Maurice Lucas against the Doctor, Julius Erving, who's going to be ready for that one. The 76ers against the Trailblazers, Friday, 11:30 Eastern Time. Billy Cunningham, Brent Musburger will be on hand to bring you that one. Galbraith and Strawn, the running backs. First down, 10. Scott back, and he is not playing it close to the vest at all. Comes running out, wide open is Thaxton.
Oh.
And Thaxton's got it at the 45-yard line. He wants a timeout. With 28 seconds, Scott is not content to be tied at halftime.
I'll tell you one thing, Mr. Scott is doing a fantastic job filling in for Archie Manning. 24-yard pass reception. He hung in that pocket. He stayed in there, stepped up, stepped around a guy right there and drilled that ball to Thaxton and made a great grab on it, too.
Well, you would think with the time they had remaining, they might be content with that field position to just kind of run it out, but nothing doing.
I like that kind of football. It's good.
Saints using their second timeout. They have one remaining, and there's the meeting on the far sideline. Thaxton, Bobby Scott, Hank Stram, Dick Wood. Hank Stram, very personable guy. Boy, what a career he's had in coaching. If he wins today, he would tie 7th all-time winning coach in the history of the National Football League. So at the 45.5-yard line, the Saints will have the ball. 28 seconds remaining. Now, Bobby Scott discussing the situation. You know, the Saints were not apologizing for number 12 at all. They said he'll do all right. And he has come in the second quarter and put new life in New Orleans. Looking ahead next week, the Vikings against the Falcons, Philadelphia and Washington. I'll tell you, the Redskins better be ready for that one.
Philadelphia is an up-and-coming ball club.
Chicago, Green Bay, and that's one of the old rivalries. Detroit, Dallas, the Rams against these very Saints who I think are raising some eyebrows. And Tampa Bay and San Francisco next week right here, the NFL on CBS. Bobby Scott on a first down. This is Thaxton wide open, and I can't get over how open the receivers are because they're in a prevent right now. But with 24 seconds, it is going to be another first down for the Saints. Arneson runs him out of bounds.
Here's Scott setting up again. Thaxton is just getting right. He's driving him back right on that sideline, steps out of bounds, stops that clock.
First down. The ball now at the 41. There's Don Coryell, and he must be thinking about what's the difference between the first and second quarter of this football team.
I'll tell you, Mr. Thaxton's having a great day right now. He's got 4 catches for 83 yards.
He and Childs both tight ends. Childs with a 54-yard touchdown catch. They're trying to compete against each other. Here's Scott back to throw on first down. He's going for broke down there. Skilliam up in the crowd, and it is incomplete.
That was a desperation one, I think.
But those are always can go either way. A sensible and Worley back there.
Well, we saw one of them last week when Jaworski threw up in Philadelphia up there to big Harold Carmichael, and he went up 6'8", 225, went up between some people and caught it.
Still 17 seconds as you see it on the screen.
You know, Scott's has really come around. He's 10 for 21 right now for 173 yards. He's really come. He's got great control here.
You know, and he hadn't thrown a pass prior to today. He'd started 8 games last year. He had 2 very fine preseason games. But then last week when Manning got hurt, they brought Douglas in, and Douglas threw 4 passes. So Scott making his first appearance of this season. Scott back again. Second down, 10. He's in trouble. John Zook is there. Mike Dawson also. Scott now getting up in a hurry with 12 seconds, lost his helmet. They're trying to get a play called. The clock is stopped as they unpile. There's Scott's statistics. Coming into this game, the Cardinals had only 7 sacks, one of the lowest outputs in the NFC. They haven't started the clock yet. You can see it. It'll start moving. There it goes. Scott back again on third down. Throwing to Gilliam. And Gilliam hangs on. He's got a first down, and the Saints don't have any timeouts left.
I don't think they're going to have enough time to get it.
Nope. And that's going to be it. But the Saints with quite a flurry here at the end. And that's the end of the first half. The score, St. Louis 21, New Orleans 21.
Want to cut your fuel bills? Whether your house is new or old, put insulation everywhere. It can save you money. Your attic, you need a 6 to 12-inch blanket of pink Owens Corning fiberglass. Walls, full insulation. Unheated crawl space, insulate below the floor. Live where it's cold, insulate basement walls. See your Owens Corning fiberglass supplier to learn all about insulation. Insulation is cheaper than oil.
Picked up your new Radio Shack catalog yet? It's free at your nearby Radio Shack, and they're going fast. It's almost as if we've taken this whole store and crammed it right into the... Realistic hi-fi systems, tape recorders, antennas, hobby kits, electronic parts, smoke detectors, TV games, and our famous line of realistic CB radios. Get your free copy today, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
The closer you shave, boy,
the closer you shave, boy,
the more you will need.
The more you will need.
Great balls of comfort.
Great balls of comfort.
To do it with ease.
Great balls of comfort.
Oh, just let Noxema.
Noxema. Great balls of comfort to you.
The closer you shave, the more you need soothing, medicated Noxema.
Great balls of comfort to you. Woo.
The battle is on Sunday night. Will Archie get to take his fishing trip, or will Edith win out by keeping him home to chaperone a wedding? Then it's a sexist war on Alice as Mel hires a waiter.
And he deserves more money. He's a man.
Find out the winners Sunday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
On November 5th, CBS Sports presents Championship Saturday, leading off at 2:30 p.m. with live coverage of the finals of the Series Championship of Women's Tennis, with Chris Evert heading a strong field. Followed by live coverage of the World Middleweight Championship with number 1 ranked Rodrigo Valdez battling number 2 ranked Benny Briscoe for the title. And live coverage of the Laurel International from Laurel Racetrack in Maryland. That's Championship Saturday, November 5th.
Two minutes and 30 seconds now left, and Oakland leads the New York Jets by a score of 28-27. Some wild games. Let's get you up to date on all of the scores. Dallas now ahead of Philadelphia. They trailed in that game 7-6, finally blocked a punt for a score, and then came right back down and scored again. Green Bay and Tampa Bay. The Packers have scored a touchdown for the first time this year in the second half. Lynn Dickey was injured. He's now back in the game for Bart Starr. The Giants and the Washington Redskins. Giants trying to pull off an upset. It would make it 2 in a row over Washington this year. Cleveland and Buffalo. Halfback Greg Pruitt has tossed the option pass for a touchdown. 2016, Buffalo trying to hang tough behind the juice. Denver and Cincinnati. Both of the starting quarterbacks have been knocked out. Morton with a bruised knee. Penrose now in. Anderson out. He re-injured his knee, and so Reeves is quarterbacking. Fourth quarter, Broncos still lead it. Houston, Pittsburgh, game of turnovers. 20-10 right now in the fourth quarter. Steelers lead. 4 turnovers apiece so far. And here it is. The Jets had 4 touchdown passes by Richard Todd today. Gaines, Walker, Barkham, Castor missed an extra point, and how big that looms right now. Miami just put another 7 up on the board, way in front of Seattle, 31-13 in the fourth. Atlanta and Chicago, the Falcons with a second field goal, lead at 6-3, underway in Soldier Field in the third quarter. And what a marvelous game that is you're watching. The Cardinals ahead 21-0, and now it is tied at 21. Wild afternoon, Phyllis. What have you got for us?
Certainly was. I have a good music piece today. I think you're going to enjoy it by a good singer. You know, a few weeks ago, the Baltimore Colts retired the legendary number 19 that was worn by Johnny Unitas. But already Colt fans are talking about a new quarterback legend, the young Burt Jones, who still has a brilliant career ahead. And in this song by Mr. Lou Rawls, perhaps the old hero has some wise words and thoughts to help the young one keep things in perspective.
Someday you're gonna be old. Bless your soul. Someday you'll be old. One day you'll be full of life, and life won't owe you nothing. You'll be wise because you've experienced it all. Well, you might have a few aches and pains, but you still keep struggling, 'cause you don't want to give up on this good thing. Someday you're gonna be old. Bless your soul. Someday you'll be old. So get the best of every day, 'cause every moment is precious. Don't let your past catch up with you. You ought to think about what you do before you do it. Try and develop self-control, 'cause it don't take long before your youth is gone and all the time starts coming on. So wear your age like a crown, so that you can be proud and smile at the people you meet when you're walking down the street. Remember to set an example for the youth, 'cause they got their eyes on you. You paid your dues. Sometimes you were happy, sometimes you were blue. You work hard every day to get where you are today. Someday you'll be old. Let me tell you to think about what you do before you do it. Try and develop self-control, because before you know it, your youth is gone and father time starts coming on. Someday you'll be old. So get yourself together before you know it. You will have to get a brand new start.
There are some coaches growing a little older on this Sunday afternoon. Some updates. Atlanta 9, Chicago 3. Denver scores again. They lead Cincinnati 24-13. Cleveland scores again. They lead Buffalo 27-16. The Giants have scored again. They lead Washington 14-6. The National Football League today will continue on CBS right after these messages from your local stations.
A murder mystery with the last page missing drives the MASH crew up the wall Tuesday night on CBS.
Looks as though the Dallas Cowboys will remain unbeaten, but the Philadelphia Eagles started out fast. They scored the first touchdown. Nice catch coming up by Smith. Jaworski hits him, and after the extra point, 7-0. Dorsett came off the bench. Here's a classy little run from the 12 to the 5. Then the rookie stormed in for the touchdown behind a Newhouse block. Missed extra point. It was 7-6. Watch now. Randy White going to get at Jaworski. there is Harvey Martin, 79. What a year he's having. Cowboys blocked a punt for a touchdown. Jaworski returned after he was shaken up. Staubach, and on the bootleg, runs it down to the Philadelphia 19-yard line. Well, he can still run, can't he? What a runner he was at Annapolis. Herrera then kicked the field goal. 16-7 now, fourth quarter. So it looks as though the Dallas Cowboys are going to rack up their sixth straight. Irv?
Brett, the Green Bay Packers traveled down to Tampa Bay today and to seek their second win of the year, and they lead in the fourth quarter by a score of 13-0 and had things pretty well in hand. Quarterback David Whitehurst here substituting for Lynn Dickey, who was hurt and came back, hands the ball off to Eric Turgeson and makes a nice run, setting up a Green Bay field goal. A 40-yarder by Chester Marcol. They take a 3-0 lead in the first quarter. Lynn Dickey comes back to the game and hands off to Eric Torgerson again. He goes in, touchdown Green Bay, and they lead in the fourth quarter 13-0.
Irv, unfortunately, Charlie Taylor has been sidelined for Washington this afternoon. Pulled hamstring muscle, back of the right leg. We're going to show you the play. There was a late hit involved, but I do not think it affected this injury. Watch and see. I think he pulled the muscle right there. He was hit. Giants were penalized, and he has left the game. Mosley kicked a field goal after that play, and the Redskins were up by 2 field goals. And they were really very much in command. Giants were making their usual allotment of mistakes. Spencer fumbling the ball away, Johnson recovering it. But then suddenly the Giants came alive in the second half. Coder stormed in, 7-6 Giants ahead. Then Pisarcik put them up even further. Neat play here. He had a lot of time. 23-yard pass. He threaded the needle on that, Irv.
The Atlanta Falcons, Chicago Bears at Soldier Field are doing battle in the third quarter, where the Falcons lead by a score of 9-3 and keep their stingy defensive record intact of only giving up 2 touchdown passes the entire year. Bob Avellini goes to the air early in the game and hits James Scott, who makes a nifty run down to the Atlanta 15-yard line, setting up a Bob Thomas field goal. And Thomas connects here, and he's true right through the uprights, and Chicago takes an early 3-0 lead. Avellini, electing to go to the air again, looks for John Gilliam, but the ball is picked off by defensive back Ray Easterling, who travels along the sideline up to the 40-yard line, setting up an Atlanta field goal. And the game in the third quarter right now is Atlanta 9, Chicago 3.
Irv, I would not want to predict what's going to happen to St. Louis and New Orleans in the second half. What a wild first half. The Cardinals dominating every facet of the game early. Here's the touchdown pass. Hart, 38 yards. Mel Gray. Then Wayne Morris stormed into the end zone. That made it 21-0 after the extra point. And Hank Stram's Saints suddenly came alive. Al Hurton started blowing his bugle down there in New Orleans land. Chuck Muncie put them on the board, 21-7. Bobby Scott filling in for the injured Archie Manning goes to Thaxton. 25-yard score. What a play this is. Does this remind you of tight ends like Mike Ditka and guys like that? Here's Childs. Look at this effort right here coming up. 20's got him, should be out of bounds. Come on. Just shrugs him off, and he's got the score. That's a great effort, isn't it? Phyllis, what do you got to show us in the way of efforts?
I want to tell you something. Speaking of efforts, you guys do a great job on highlights. I've thought that now for 2.5 years, and I just thought I'd tell you on this October Sunday. Well, I have a highlight today, and it's a game I've been waiting for quite some time. And tomorrow night, fellas, it'll be our Monday night football game right here on CBS, and I promise you we'll all enjoy it. It's the homecoming game for Charlie Brown and the whole Peanut gang. As you can see, they're on the field getting ready to play here. The name of the show, it's called It's Your First Kiss, Charlie Brown. And Charlie's got a date with the homecoming queen, so he's got to play well. He's the place kicker. There you go, and look who's holding the ball. Adorable Lucy. Let's see what we can do. Oops, he missed the ball, and he lands right in the middle of this pile. But his eyes are open. Snoopy says, try it again, and here he comes. Take it, Snoop. Charlie Brown, one more time, trying to impress that homecoming queen. Whoops! Do you think Pat Summerall ever did anything like that in his day, Earth? Where is he amidst all that smoke? There he is. You can't keep a good man down, especially Charlie Brown. Homecoming. It's a kiss for you, Charlie Brown, tomorrow night Eastern Time, right here on CBS.
All right, Phyllis, right now let's go back to St. Louis. Gary Bender and Tom Maddock. Gary?
Okay, Brent, thank you very much. 21-21 our score. We, in fact, have had 2 different games in this first half. The first quarter to the Cardinals, the second quarter to the Saints. Be back in just a moment.
Here's a few tips on how to get out of an airport fast. 1, join the #1 club and reserve a car with Hertz. 2, Have your license and credit card ready, because Hertz will be ready for you. Just sign and go. 3, need directions? Ask Hertz. They know the shortest route. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster.
Go, Juice! Go!
Rent a Ford from Hertz.
A superstar in rent-a-car.
Right.
Pabst Blue Ribbon knows that to bring a 5,000-pound African elephant back to the safety of its protected herd is a challenge that's just not for everyone. But we do challenge you to discover a better-tasting beer. Taste and compare Pabst with any other premium beer. You'll taste the difference Blue Ribbon quality makes. Pabst, since 1844, the quality has always come through.
Touch, the first computer TV. Magnavox Touch Tune Color Television. Touch and lock in computer sharp color, computer fast. Touch, no need to fine tune ever. Touch, at the set or by remote control, computer controlled color. Star System Touch Tune Color Television from Magnavox. Touch one today.
The Vikings have always been known as a rugged, winning football team. But then, you have to be pretty tough just to watch a game in Minnesota. Hi, I'm Doug Sutherland. I love the outdoors. So for me, Minnesota's a terrific place to live. They call this the land of 10,000 lakes. 10,000 mirrors that reflect more beauty than I could ever describe. Lakes that frame wilderness and dairyland. Lakes that show the Twin Cities. Lakes that move iron ore and grain all over America. Lakes for people to sail, ski, swim, and do just about anything you can do on water. The people of Minnesota are hardy, hard-working individuals, and many of them take time to help their neighbors through their United Way. They're volunteers in the Red Cross, Services for the Aging, YMCA, and many other agencies funded by our United Way. They love their football team, their communities, and their United Way. For all these volunteers, we'd like to say, thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. 21-21. Sorrow will kick off for the New Orleans Saints. And Tom, the question is, what do the Cardinals got to do to regain what they had in the first quarter when they led 21-0?
They've got to start playing defense. That's the key to it. They're playing offense. They're moving the ball all over the field, but we've got to have a better defensive game from both teams if they want to stop this scoring barrage.
First quarter was all St. Louis. The second quarter is all New Orleans. Zorro ready to go. Metcalf is deep. They've been kicking away from him, and this time they're going to kick it right to him. Metcalf at the 9, 15, 20, 25. He's got a little running room and then goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So the Cardinals, who jumped on top 21-0. Look at the statistics now as first downs, yards rushed, pass, very close, isn't it, Tom?
It sure is.
At one stage, it was all St. Louis. Possession time, though, interestingly enough, the Cardinals have quite an advantage there.
It's interesting statistically, the Saints have 289 yards, total yardage, while the Cards only have 251, yet the possession time there's a marked difference.
Now at the 30s where they've marked the ball, Metcalf and Morris, the running backs, behind Jim Hart. 21-21. Jerry Bender and Tom Matty from Busch Stadium. Here's Metcalf, got a block, and he comes across the 35 to the 36-yard line. That was Wayne Morris again throwing the block.
I'll tell you this, he's not only a good runner and hits that hole quick, but he is a great blocker. He reminds me of a guy that used to play with us, a guy by the name of Jerry Hill. Wasn't much of a back, didn't have the quick start like this kid had, but he sure could hit people.
In that first half of play, Metcalf had a total of 22 yards rushing. The big ground gainer was Morris with 46. Second down, 2 yards to go. Jim Hart off to Morris, and Morris has the first down. Good leg drive, moves the ball out to the 42-yard line.
You can see both the offensive teams for both of these teams are doing a great job.
Jim Hart there putting his hand down on the playing surface. I don't know whether he got hit there or what it was, getting some feeling back into it or wiping something off.
These guys use that stickum stuff, and boy, when it gets on you, it's hard to get it off.
Like peanut butter in the roof of your mouth, huh? From the 41-yard line now. First down for the Cardinals. Gray to the bottom. This is Ike Harris now in a wing position, number 84. Hart gives off to Wayne Morris. Morris is trying to get up to the 45, and he does on sheer determination. Bob Pollard, Ernie Jackson eventually getting over there. They're going to mark the ball across the 45-yard line. It'll bring up a second down and still 5 yards to go. The Cardinals started this game. The first 3 times they had possession of the football, they scored. And then all of a sudden they were driving again. Jackie Smith fumbled the ball to 5-yard line, and all of a sudden the Saints came roaring right back.
95 yards and scored a touchdown. Morris had a pretty good afternoon himself right here. He's 14 carries for 53 yards.
Both Jackie Smith and J.V. Keane in now on this play. 2nd and 5. Terry Metcalf. Metcalf to the 50. Lowers his head, and he's very close to the first down. Terry Metcalf, Grooms, and Fetterspiel combining on the tackle. Metcalf has run real tough today. Lowered his head.
Last week was the first week he had that cast off of his wrist.
The first down indeed made as the ball is marked at the 48-yard line. Ike Harris now coming in from the near sideline with the play information. Cardinals usually will wig-wag their system in or hand signals. Jackie Smith coming out. And don't ask me to explain what they send in.
Yeah, I want you to explain wig-wag.
First down 10. We will explain that penalty, right?
All right. We've got to come back to that.
Here's Hart back to throw. Good protection. Broken up. Looked like Bob Pollard and also Mike Foltz were in there, but it was Pollard who's been in that backfield a couple of times today.
He's a big Pollard, you can see here on the replay, is just putting a great pressure on him. He's coming back to the inside, got the pressure. Big number 72 gets up there.
That's Mike Foltz. They say, according to Hangstrom, he is one of the 3 strongest men he's ever known. 6'5", 278-pounder, an All-American from Nebraska, their number 2 pick.
And he also can run as fast as I can.
Well, that's not saying a lot.
But for 278 it is.
2nd down 10. Little delay action. Metcalf hit by Ernie Jackson, who picked him up, and the forward progress will be marked at the 46-yard line. Let's look at that again and see what they did to Bob Pollard on this particular play.
See, some of the times an offensive lineman will go back to the huddle and say, hey, listen, I need a draw to hold those linemen. That's exactly what it'll do. It'll slow Pollard's rush down from now on, looking for the draws and the screens.
So it's 3rd down, 6 yards to go.
Got to keep those defensive linemen honest. They got to prevent defense in a 3rd down, long yardage situation.
Gray at the top of the screen, Harris at the bottom of the screen, Hart on 3rd down. Pumps. He gets it off to Metcalf. And Metcalf, I don't know if he got the first down. It's going to be very, very close. Let's see.
I'll tell you, Hart is really working under pressure. He threw that ball getting hit again right after he let go of that ball.
It's going to be a first down. They did get the first down.
Let's watch Big Dan Deerdorf work on Pollard this time and how he pass protects. Gets those arms up in front. It's just like a muscle race back in there. Pushing and shoving. But he keeps him away from Hart all the way. Little face mask right there. I think Mr. Pollard might get a little upset there. Mr. Deerdorf is saying something to the official. A little confrontation. Nice words. I'll guarantee you they said a few nice things about each other right there.
They say Deerdorf weighs 280. I think it's closer to 300. Here is a play and a flag. It was Morris carrying the ball, but a flag on the play. And where it's thrown, you got to believe it's got to be holding. Ball at the 35-yard line. And that's what it is.
Those are the kind of things that really hurt you.
So they're going to bring it back 10 yards. You know, you look back at Deerdorf. As big as he is, as agile as he is, staying with Pollard, who can come off the ball quickly. It's something to watch. It's not exactly poetry in motion because it's just too brutal for that, but it's something to watch. Let's listen now. Who's guilty of holding?
Holding number 66, St. Louis.
Conrad Dobler. Dobler with the 10-yard penalty, and that'll move it back to the 48-yard line of the Saints and makes it first down 20. 10:24 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter, we have a tie game, 21-all. Gray to the bottom, flanked out. Gray has a 38-yard touchdown catch thus far. Hart back to throw. Beautiful protection. Ike Harris. But Harris can't get open. Chapman covered it very well. But I tell you, the protection on that play was remarkable.
I tell you, you've got those big offensive linemen. You know, it's interesting to watch and take a look at how big these guys are getting today. You know,
that was an offside, by the way, Tom, on New Orleans. That'll step off 5 yards.
Still be first down now.
First down and 15. Hank Stram. Boy, they like him back in New Orleans. The players really enjoy playing for him.
Offsides, number 82, New Orleans.
Bob Pollard. Bob Pollard is causing some problems. He's jumped off a couple of times, but he has also been in that backfield a few times.
He's been all over that field. I tell you, he's quick. He's got the great speed and strength from Weber State.
He had a 52-yard touchdown earlier this year in a fumble recovery against Chicago. 3 sacks against the Lions. First and 15. Jim Hart. He sets up the screen to Morris. Morris to the 40-yard line. Wayne Morris brings it to the 37-yard line. As that time, Conrad Dobler threw quite a block out there. It's going to bring up now. Still second down and 9 yards to go.
This is just a controlled flare. Hart sets up. Morris is right out here, picks it up. This is what you have to do when you get that pass. Watch Deerdorf and Dobler lead the play. Morris just picks it up, goes down the sideline, picks up good yardage. Second down now, 10 yards to go.
Boy, Dobler just buried him on that play.
I wouldn't want Dobler hitting me.
Second down, 9. Terry Metcalf. Metcalf to the 35, cuts to the 30. He's about a yard short of that first down.
Another great block by Wayne Morris again. This guy is playing a super game.
You know, Jim Otis is a starter for a long time because of his blocking, but Morris is blocking just as effectively.
Just watch. Digs right down in there, gets that linebacker, knocks him right down. Metcalf makes a cut to the outside. Watch this hurdle move he makes. Boom.
Amazing athlete.
He is. He's an exciting... He and Peyton up in Chicago are two of the most exciting backs, I think, in a game today.
They're a yard short. It's third down.
Both tight ends in.
8:51 remaining, third quarter. 21 all. Tom Brahaney's also come in with those pair of tight ends. This is Morris again, and Morris fighting for that first down.
Close.
And may measure. Let's see. They're going to bring the sticks in. Morris hitting off the left-hand side. And Morris, at the start of the year, Don Coryell really got a scare. This young man had an injured Achilles tendon. And when you're a running back, that is a shaky injury to have. But he's healed and obviously playing very well.
Well, they're taking a look at this measurement. There is a final score that just has come in. Dallas pulled it out, kept that undefeated season going. They won 16-10 over Philadelphia.
It wasn't easy, though, and I think that's credit to the Eagles. They are playing very fine football.
Dick Vermeil is probably one of the nicest young coaches I've ever met, and talking with him last week when we did the game at St. Louis and Philadelphia. There's another ball club that's building just like Hank Stram is doing with a young team. He's staying with his guys. He felt that he's got rid of some of the problems that they've had before. There's our man right there, the head coach of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Just a moment ago, you saw the guy with the headset and the baseball cap on, Jim Hannafin, wig-wagging the plays in.
Oh, yes.
Got that word in there again. That's the new vernacular now.
The wig-wag. It's better than using my wristband, huh?
First down 10 now from the 27-yard line. Hart off to Metcalf. Metcalf, look at him run the ball to the 20-yard line. Doing a lot of hurdling. You know, Tom, a lot of coaches will tell you not to do that. You can get hurt, but this guy gets away with it.
He just picks his hole perfect. Here again, Morris is kicking him back out. Another great block by Morris. Metcalf makes that hurdling move again, and in midair sometimes. This is where you get hurt sometimes.
And Ike Harris is hurt. Now let's watch and see how he got hurt. There it is, right there.
Falls right in the back of his legs.
Yeah, Bob Pollard hit him in the head, and Ike Harris is down right now at the 20-yard line. Ike Harris, who last year, a lot of